Alright, Exhibit A. In the same way Russian royals got their people addicted to vodka to keep them subservient and extract money from them, the United States is using processed sugar to dull us and sicken us into being more easily manipulated. Studies show sugar causes everything from less intelligence to heart disease to bad skin to diabetes to chemical dependence and so on. It is nothing but a slow, destructive, addictive substance that humans would be better off without. But the government not only allows this stuff to be sold to us in everything, but they even use our own tax money to incentivize farmers to grow sugar crops. They are using our money to make us sick enough to be exploited by health insurances and big pharma and dumb enough to keep us under their control, all while making billionaires of the sugar company owners using our tax money. Refined sugar is the greatest mind control substance. It's not too destructive like vodka, and it's still effective enough to turn us into dimwits that have enough intelligence to know how to follow orders, but not be smart enough to care about our well being. Using addictive substances to exploit people for money is something pimps do. Our government is whoring us out, and it's time we brought them to justice. And it's time we got off the drug. Show the government you aren't a prostitute and stop buying junk food, fast food, and sugary drinks. The only comfort you should feel from food is nutrition. Food can taste great with spices and sauces. You don't need sugar or deep fried oils. Fruit drinks are delicious and so are teas for the cold winters. Just be careful with your produce because everything in this country is tainted and nothing is without its scam. Try to minimize the dangers being done to your healthy foods as best as you can. Exhibit B. The US is a nation that champions being a capitalist, but it doesn't teach its citizens to be capitalist. Instead, public schools teach us to be workers who get exploited by capitalists, who get taxed the most to the point where a corporation gets better tax breaks than a human. We are purposefully being indoctrinated to be subservient to capitalists, all the while pretending that Americans are prosperous because America is prosperous. America has been monopolized by the rich. They get the lion's share of the wealth and we get the tax burden. Elon Musk used our tax money to help his company Tesla, but the taxpayers never saw a dime in return. We essentially invested in Tesla and saw nothing in return while Elon became the richest man alive. And now he got the opportunity to take people's tax money away from taxpayers who really needed help. This country got robbed by Elon twice, all because our government lies to us, cheats us, robs us, and sells us out to the capitalists. And don't get me wrong, I appreciate what capitalists do. I appreciate what Elon Musk does with Tesla and Starlink, but there is nobody who is allowed to be corrupt and steal from the people no matter what they have done for the people. Not even Jesus Christ, who opened the gates of heaven to humanity and rescued all the deceased from hell, has a right to be corrupt, because nobody has that right. It's time the government stopped using the education system to waste our time, youth, and creativity just to turn us into abused workers and stop allowing white collar criminals to happen with impunity. And if they don't, it's up to us to stop spending money on things we don't need. I know the system is designed to make us consumers, but anything we can do to take back our power is enough. It's going to take creative thinking, which is exactly what they have tried to rob us of by using sugar, but we have no choice. There is no hero coming to save us. There is no time when things will be better. We have to take action for ourselves, even if the government is working against us, because this will be the last chance we get. Technology is being used to keep the masses under the influence of the elites, and it's only going to get worse with AI. We will not be able to stop them if they can get to the point of total control with AI. Exhibit Z. C. When it came time for the Department of Justice to serve justice to the bankers who caused the 2008 financial crisis, they decided only one person should go to a white collar jail for 2.5 years. That was the punishment given to the people who misled us into the brink of economic collapse. The only thing we have to maintain stability on the civilization is the law and the economy. They basically almost destroyed human civilization, but because we taxpayers bailed them out, the world was saved. You'd think we could get help from the government, but instead they decided that the bank should only get fined. Now financial crimes are the norm in the banking industry. They take part in any scheme or scam they want because they know the government will only fine them a fraction of their profits and the real world damage will never reach them with their horde of lawyers. It is said that what the bankers did with the housing market is what they are currently doing with debt. They are pulling the same scam knowing full well it will result in the same consequences, and the government is busy using division and distraction tactics to keep us at each other's throat and away from the 1%'s profits. I wish I had an answer to this problem, but the world runs on debt. It has allowed us to create much more than what we could have possibly done without it, and now we are too dependent on it to abandon it. This is going to require financial education, something the US government actively denies teaching us unless we drown ourselves in student debt. Oh yeah, Exhibit D, student loans are way too expensive, and universities get so much money that they don't even need to charge so much. But if that wasn't bad enough, they force borrowers to pay the interest first and then the debt, ensuring the borrowers get squeezed for as much money as possible. That is a scam on top of a scam. But our other choice is working a soul sucking 9 to 5 or learning a trade, which is nice until you factor in the abusive corporate propaganda in this country or the lack of benefits to freelancers, the stability of the economy, the devaluation of the dollar, and the lack of future security. I've heard by 2040s, Social Security is only going to be able to pay recipients 80% of what they should get, and the solution to that is to increase the age of retirement and raise the Social Security tax. Okay, I feel like I jumped to Exhibit E. Exhibit E. Social Security is funded with our money. If the government had instead allowed and taught people to take that money and invest it, so far people would have ended up with more money. But they screwed people over so much, they've raised the Social Security tax so much despite initially deciding they were never going to raise it. They robbed us, they kept us uneducated, and now they'll break their promise of returning the money we've been giving them for our retirement. If the situation is this bad by 2040, I can only imagine it'll get worse. If I retire when I'm 70, which is too old to be barely retiring, it'll be the year 2063. Between climate change, pollution, and economic uncertainty, I don't see how I'm going to be able to retire. I'm convinced the government has been lying about retirement for ages, considering I'm currently working with people who are so old it's heartbreaking. They look like they can barely stand up, let alone stand up for hours. And inevitably, they can't take it. They have to sit, and you can see it in their faces. They are miserable. I'm going to end things here because I'm getting sad. So thank you